Hi, I'm TS, and I'm going to rant a little bit about being young and getting older and all that kind of stuff. One question I get a lot is, how old are you? And I get it. Some people want to just relate if they're the same age or whatever, but it doesn't really matter that much. I mean, as long as you're not a kid, under 18 and over 65 are the only ages that really should matter. Um, I usually just tell people nowadays that I was born in the 70s. That's as close as you need to know. Um, Old enough to know better and too young to care. But I was born at the perfect time that I hit each decade perfectly. I was a 70s baby. I was a teenager in the 80s, which was amazing. And an adult in the 90s, which was maybe kind of cool, I guess. If I had a genie come down and offer me any wish, one of the main ones would be that I would like to take a 10-year shift older, meaning I wish I was a teenager in the 70s and an adult in the 80s and 90s. That would have been perfect. But what I've been learning from doing these year ending in a number videos is that the boomers actually were the luckiest generation. They were born in the boring 50s, a teenager in the 60s when the counterculture and all of the whole world shifted. And they got to be an adult in the 70s and 80s. They got to go to Studio 54 and see Van Halen on their first tour and all those kind of things. Their heyday was in the best time for the culture, in my opinion, the 70s and 80s. And they get to check out right before things get really weird, right before streaming and social media ruined everything. AI and CGI are putting the last coffin nails in entertainment and music and movies. The other thing to consider, I'll get back to that all in a minute, but the other thing to consider is a guy wrote a book called The Fourth Turning. You should look up The Fourth Turning. It really breaks down how society changes in these 20-year cycles, which is one of the... I've kind of come at this sideways because I've been thinking about these things, and then I found out that there's somebody else that already wrote a book about it. And 80 years, four turnings, is about the lifespan of a normal person. And he goes through all the four steps. I might make an actual video about the fourth turning because I can't remember what the four stages are. But it's basically the concept of the hard man creates easy times create soft man, and soft men create hard times create hard men. That whole parable. And 80 years, four turnings is just about the time that it takes for everyone to forget the mistakes that each one of those generations has made. And it's just a perpetual cycle that the humans have been in for the last couple of hundred years. Before that, it wasn't really a societal thing, so we didn't really have to worry about that, but there was other things to worry about, like getting eaten by tigers or getting killed by tyrannical governments and marauders, Genghis Khan and all of those kind of things. It's weird because I've realized in doing some research for some of these videos that once I get older than 4 turnings, the year by year thing really just doesn't hold up as a concept. I can look back to the 60s and really tell a difference between 1963 and 1968. But if I go to the 30s is just the Depression. The 40s is just World War II. The 20s is just the Gilded Age. I don't really know anything different between 1921 and 1927. Like, it just kind of blurs together as you get older. And that 4 turnings is about the time period that it takes for that to happen. That passage of time freaks a lot of people out, but it's been freaking me out a lot lately, especially as you get older. This is kind of a common thing, but I've really come down to focus on that 20-year period. It's one generation, enough for one person to go from birth to adulthood. And then if you consider being an 18-year-old, you're 18, you're a brand new, bright-eyed, new adult. And 20 years from then, you're hurtling rapidly towards middle age. And it happens so fast. And the next one happens even faster, because that's the one I'm in. The next one, you go from hardcore adult, like you pick any number you want from that time period. But the next one, you go from hardcore adult with lots of plans left. You got ideas of what you want your life to be. And 20 years, boom, you're in retirement age. Maybe reflecting and regretting some of the things that you could have done or should have done. And the next 20, you may or may not get. That one's a gift. You might even get part of that one. But you only get 4, maybe 5. If you're super lucky, you might get 5. But you basically get 4. You get 4 generations of 20 years. And that is crazy. The lifespan of a human is only 4. Let that sink in for a little while. Like I said, if I had a genie offer me one wish, I said that I would like to go shift back 10 years to where I could be an adult during the 70s and 80s, but my one wish would actually be just to be able to do one turning over. Just let me do the last 20 years over. I would even take that, just give me the last 10 years over. Because right now I am rapidly hurtling towards the end. And I don't see any purpose of starting any new projects or anything. I don't want to buy a house because I won't get it paid off before I die. I don't know. I accidentally wrote this as the intro to one of the 2004 year-ending videos, and it kind of just spiraled into its own little thing, so I thought I would just film this as its own little thing. So let me know below in the comments. Let's talk about this weird time thing, how it just doesn't stop, it doesn't slow down. You just get no breaks. I don't know. That was just something I've been thinking about, so holler at you later.